If you've created games before, you probably know that your game consists of data that you usually store in variables. One cool thing we can make in Ren'Py is to have persistent data, and this means that the game will remember stuff from one playthrough to another, like this. The boss here will say, "You've created a new Ren'Py game," and he also tells us this game is a work in progress, not much to see right now, come back later, bye. And then if we play the game again, he knows this. Hey, you already know it's a work in progress, don't be impatient, bye. And now let's look at how easy it is to implement persistent data in your Ren'Py games. Let's go! Okie dokie, let's start by creating a new project. And since I care about your time, I will cut to when the base game has been programmed. And here we have our guy, the boss, saying the stock lines, and now we can get to the meat of the matter. If you've never made a game that remembers stuff, you will now create your first persistent variable. At the top of the game, we will type default, and then persistent dot, and here we'll type the name of the variable, and this variable will be called game played. Equals false. We want this variable to be false at the beginning of the game, since the game hasn't been played. And we'll keep the start label, and then we'll create a new label called work in progress. And we will ask the start label to jump to this label. And now we will use the persistent variable. At the top of the start label, we'll type if persistent.game played equals, and it's important to put double equals because otherwise we're assigning a variable, but if we want to check a variable, we need to do double equals. True, colon, jump, work in progress. Else, pass. This will make the game check if persistent.gamePlayed equals true or not. And if it's true, it will jump to the label work in progress, or else it will just pass and execute the code below. So now let's type some code in the work in progress label. The first thing we'll do is change the persistent variable gamePlayed to true. So we'll type a $, persistent.gamePlayed equals to true. And this sets the variable to true. And next time when we start the game, it will remember that this variable is true. And we'll make this an if statement. So we will type if persistent.gamePlayed equals to false, colon, persistent.gamePlayed equals to true. And notice the difference between double equals and single equals. And then on a new line, B for the boss. Hey, this game is a work in progress. And we'll give him a final line and then make this jump to a new label we will call end. And we will make the boss say a final line. Okay, so now we want the game to do something else if the game actually has been played and the persistent game.played is equals to true. So after the line where we set the game played to true, we will make an else statement. Else, and we'll give the boss some other lines. Hey, you already know it's a work in progress, don't be impatient. And then we'll jump to end label. Okay, we will save this and we will play it. And I found a bug. And that is, firstly, we want this line to be here. And we also want to put in the $sign like that. We forgot to show the boss again when the game is restarted. So we'll just copy his code. Okay, let's try it one more time. And now it works as intended. So that's how you make a game with persistent data and that remembers things between playthroughs. So it's cool that our game remembers stuff, but maybe we want some way to make it forget the persistent data. Otherwise the game will keep playing the same way over and over again without any way to restart it. And we will implement this by putting in a simple choice menu. But first a question, quotation marks, delete persistent data, question mark, menu, colon, yes, colon, $, persistent.game played equals false. And quotations, no, and just pass, and nothing will happen. So let's try the game again. And here we see the start lines, and he says his things, not much to see right now, come back later, bye. And he asks us to delete the persistent data, and if we pick no, then when we start the game, he will still remember that we played the game, But now, if this time we pick yes, he will forget it and talk to us as we've never played the game before. So, that's how you create a game with persistent data. You now have a new tool in your Game Creator's Toolkit to create creative games with the Ren'Py engine. If you have any questions or suggestions for videos, put them in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you soon in another video. Bye.